my channel. If you're new here, welcome. So today I'm going to be doing a recreation of a piece of artwork from Realm XX on Instagram, and it is known as the Anatomy of Fiona. I fell in love with this painting so fast and so hard, and I just took a screenshot of it. I took a screenshot before I even liked the photo. It's just so beautiful and amazing, and I actually discovered her account because I follow Richard on Instagram. I'll also leave him linked down below, and he did a recreation of one of her artwork pieces, and so I just started following her because I thought she was just so talented. Then I saw this pop up and I just knew that this is something I wanted to do. I think the amazing thing about art of all forms is it can literally just inspire you to either want to recreate it, do something similar, or it just kind of gets your creative juices flowing to do something else. I don't know, I just feel like art is really special and should be cherished. Anyways, I bought this wig for this look specifically, so I had to wait for that to come in, and I did consider doing rhinestones around every little piece of plant rose life I have going on in my face, and then I realized how much I would hate myself if I did, because any sort of movement they would likely fall off. I would be driving myself insane. I'd have glue all over my face, and so glitter all over my face seemed to be a somewhat better option. So I hope this still looks good. I hope you guys enjoy it. So anyways, if you want to see me recreate this piece of artwork on myself, just keep watching. Hey guys, so to get started, I'm going to be taking my NYX Photo Loving Primer and just applying that all over my face so we can have a nice smooth base for our foundation. And for my foundation, I'm taking my Tarte Rainforest of the Sea foundation in medium sand and my NYX Total Control foundation in porcelain, and mixing these two together so I can kind of get a little bit of a fairer shade to kind of match the complexion of the girl in the painting. Next, I'm taking my ColourPop No Filter Concealer in the number 14, and I'm just going to be applying this to the areas that I would like to highlight. So this is going to be under my eye, the bridge of my nose, my cupid's bow, chin, under my jawline, my forehead, and my temples. Next, I'm going to be taking my ColourPop F5 Small Fluffy Brush, and I'm going to be using this to blend out the concealer over my face. To set this, I'm going to be taking my Airspun Translucent Powder and a dry Morphe sponge, and I'm just going to allow this to bake while I fill in my eyebrows. A big step that I used for my eyebrows that I don't normally use in my everyday brow routine is I took my Anastasia Beverly Hills Brow Gel and I spiked up the eyebrows, and you want to have them go against the natural wave of your brow hairs just so that they can stand up straight and they will kind of give that spiky look. Next, I'm taking my Smashbox 24-Hour Photo Finish Eye Primer, and I'm just going to be applying this on to the lids of my eyes. For my eyeshadow, I'm going into my Morphe 35B palette, taking this white matte eyeshadow, and I'm just going to be using it to highlight my brow bone. Next, I'm going to be taking this neutral color, and I'm just going to be sweeping it into the crease to serve as a transition shade. Moving on to my Lorac Mega Pro 3 palette, I'm going to be taking Mist and applying that into the crease so we can kind of start to create a dusty look. Then we're going to be taking Dusty Mauve and applying this to the outer corner and slightly blending it in towards the inner corner of the eye. Once you're done with that, you just want to make sure to be blending it out with a clean fluffy brush. Next, I'm going to be taking the Shimmer Light Pink color, and I'm going to be using my finger just to apply it onto the center of my lid. Moving on, I'm going to be taking the Dark Navy from the eyeshadow palette and just deepening up the crease a little bit. Once you're done with that, you just want to be able to brush away the excess translucent powder so we can move on to the lower lash line. Next, I'm taking my Dusty Mauve again, and I'm just going to be applying that to the lower lash line before I go back into Dark Navy, and I apply that to the outer corners of the lower lash line. I'm also going to be applying that to my upper lash line just to kind of smudge it out so we can go in with our L'Oreal Silk Me eyeliner and charcoal, tightline the upper waterline, and then also apply it to the upper lash line. Once you're done with that, you just want to take a sponge, and you can get this from e.l.f. You can usually have this at the end of an eyeliner, and you're just going to be smudging out that eyeliner. Moving on to contour, I'm taking my Too Faced Cocoa Contour Palette, taking medium and dark cocoa, and I'm just going to be chiseling my cheekbones and kind of deepening the areas so I have more shape to my face. So I'm applying this under my cheekbones, my forehead, and under my jaw, and I'm also going to be bronzing it up with my Physicians Formula Butter Bronzer and a large fluffy brush. I'm then going to be adding a few more highlighted details to my nose, and I'm just going to be blending it out with a small fluffy brush. Then I'm going to be moving on to blush. For this, I'm taking my custom MAC palette, taking these two shades, and I'm just going to be applying that to the apples of my cheeks. Next, I will be taking my Anastasia Beverly Hills That Glow Glow Kit, taking Sunburst, and I'm also going to be taking my Anastasia Beverly Hills Moonchild Glow Kit, taking Blue Ice and Pink Heart, and just highlighting my features and kind of bringing out some of that pretty glow that she has in the painting. To prep my eyelashes, I'm just going to curl them, then I'm going to be going in with my Tarte Tartiest Lash Paint Mascara and just sweeping that through my eyelashes. Next, we're hitting the big chunk of this makeup look, so I'm going to start off by taking my Madalyn Paradise paint in white, and I'm just going to be looking at the photo in the reflection of the mirror so I can make it look exactly how it is supposed to on my face as you see it when you look at the painting. Because if you just paint it from looking at your phone and you don't look at the reflected image, you're going to have it on the opposite side of your face. So doing this, it's really easy. You're just looking at your phone through the mirror, and I'm basically tracing out all of the major details that this look has. I'm starting out with white because white is really easy to erase if you make a mistake, and then you're going to be going in with colors later on. But to start off, I'm just getting the major shapes for this look. Taking a break from that, because in reality that actually took quite a chunk of time, we're going to be moving on to lips. So I'm going to start off by taking my Bite lip pencil in number 16 and just outlining my lips. Next, I'm moving on to my ColourPop Luxe lipstick, and this is in Uno Mas, and I'm just going to be applying this all over my lips before taking a little bit of white body paint and adding a few highlights to my lips to replicate that of the painting. Next, I'm taking my Wolf Face Art Effect body paint, and I'm taking the red one, and I'm just going to be filling in every single image that I painted in white originally, because all of these images, including the rose itself and the leaves, have the red undertone to them, and then we build up from there. So the whole point of this portion is layers. You want to start with the base layer that is covering the majority of the object, and then add highlights and shadows and pops of color. So this is just going to be setting the base. Next, I'm going to be taking my Madalyn Paradise paint in black, and I'm going to be creating the shadows on each petal and leaf. So I'm just going to be outlining the areas that are darkened in the painting, and then I'm going to be going back in with the red body paint right over top, and I'm going to be blending them together. This is going to create a nice dark ombre effect, and it's going to create a really cool vignette as well. So it's going to have a beautiful transition, and so basically you just want to lay down the black and then go over it again with red, and it's going to help blend them together. Next, I will be taking my Madalyn Paradise paint in yellow, and I'm going to be replicating the painting and looking at it through the mirror and looking at exactly where the yellow splotches are in the painting, and I'm going to be applying it to the exact same petals and leaves on myself. So it's not every single petal and leaf has yellow markings. You just have to look at the painting and replicate where they are and how they look. So this is also going to serve as highlights as well, because yellow is a lighter color compared to the dark, so this is also going to help highlighting the leaves and petals. Next, I'm going to be taking my Graftobian Pro Paint and Eggplant and adding more details with this body paint. If you look in the painting, the primary extra colors that they have is yellow, purple, and teal. So I'm just going in and applying the purple. You really can't see it that much, so if you want to skip this step you can, but I wanted this to be as detailed and accurate as possible. Next, I will be taking my Madalyn Paradise paint in teal, and I'm going to be adding my favorite part of this look, the teal splotches everywhere. So once again, I'm just referencing the painting, and I love this because it definitely adds dimension and a very beautiful pop of color to this art piece. So I was really happy that we got to incorporate some blue with reds and blacks and yellows. I feel like it just looks extremely beautiful. So this was my favorite part. Once again, I'm just replicating the painting, nothing too special, just looking at it in the mirror and doing exactly what it's showing me. We're going to be taking our Madalyn Paradise paint in white, and we're going to be adding a few quick highlights over top. So I'm just going to be applying them on a few of the petals and leaves, and also bringing it down to my chest, and we're going to be creating the little flurries that are going through the air. I don't really know what to describe it. It's kind of like bits and pieces of other flowers or pieces in the wind, and so I'm kind of just creating that on my chest. Next, I'm taking my NYC eyeliner in brown, and I'm going to be using this to create the shadows on the little bits and pieces from the wind. Next, I will be taking my Madalyn mixing liquid and metallic powder in gold, and I'm going to be using this to be creating the gold trimming that she has on her flowers in the painting. I did debate doing rhinestones because if I were to accurately translate it onto myself, I probably would, but like I said in the beginning, they would likely fall off. The glue wouldn't stick that well. It would be a complete pain to apply them, and I would have needed so many bedazzles, and I did look at Michael's and I didn't see any that were small enough, and I feel like it would actually take away from this look, so I just decided to use gold paint instead and add a few details with glitter to kind of make it look a little bit more like bedazzles and rhinestones. Speaking of glitter, I actually took my NYX glitter crystal liners to do this, and basically the method I did was I just took them one by one and I just dotted them all around the surface so that the glitter would kind of build up into a ball, so it did kind of resemble a sequin or rhinestone. Taking my Graftobian Pro Paint and Fuzzy Bear Brown, I'm then going to be creating the subtle beauty marks that she has. She has one on her nose and then two above the flower, so I just went ahead and created those real fast. And last but not least, I am taking my Kiss Lash Couture lashes in Lavish, and I'm just going to be applying that to my upper lash line. And that is the completed look. Thank you guys so much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. Leave a comment down below if you'd like to see next. Don't forget to give this video a big thumbs up if you enjoyed it, and subscribe to my channel if you want to see more of my videos. Also, don't forget to check out RealmXX on Instagram. Once again, I will leave her linked down below. And with all of that being said, I will see you guys in the next one. Bye!